What's up, y'all? This your boy Q with another episode of that Blues, Barbecue, and Bullets. We got a special guest, man. You guys probably already know her, man. We got Tiff. I'm a little nervous, man, because she doing a thing right now in this game. You know,
Don't
with
be
the
nervous. I'm regular.
with the podcast and the films and everything, man. I'm sitting with a walking legend here, so I appreciate you coming through and
Thank you.
have a good conversation with us today. So. You another one of my guests who from Memphis as well too. People make fun of me because I went to Germantown. They try to play me like, wait a minute, that's not really part of Memphis.
I mean, it's like a little bit of Memphis, but I mean,
Yeah,
you count.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. People trying to play like, he ain't from me from Germantown, but I was trying to get the background. So, what was your experience like growing up in Memphis? What part of Memphis was your stomach ground started from, Miss Tiff?
Well, I'm from North Memphis, where my family, my mama's side is from North Memphis, my daddy's side from Orange Mound.
Okay.
But I grew up in Binghamton.
Okay.
And so those are my humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Regular kid outside playing on the street,
They don't know about playing outside no more, don't it? Like
I don't know about playing outside no more. Yeah.
Playing outside, you go in the house, you kind of stuck. So you gotta go make sure somebody got a water hose in the backyard, drink that water. You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather be outside than in the house
Come
any
on,
day.
so what I'm saying. You go in the house, I'm like, you gotta do this. Like, no. So okay, so you got a kind of a mix and match. You said from North Memphis, then Orange Mound, Binghamton, you got it all over. What school did you go to and graduate from? You went to?
I went to high school at Wooddale.
Okay.
My mama moved on up.
Yeah.
We moved to East Memphis when I went to 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to high school in East Memphis.
Yeah. East Memphis was nice too back then, man.
It was Hickory Hill back then.
Hickory Hill, sure was, wasn't it? I think we played, y'all. I went to Germantown, and I think we played Wooddale in basketball a couple times.
A few times. We kind of ran into each other a little bit.
I think we beat y'all like every time.
If that's what you want to say,
No records, no lie. Okay, cool. So went to Wooddale. So what was your then you went to MTSU? What was that transition like for you? Because I know for me, just like going from like Memphis to like MTSU back in like 2011, 2012, it was like a big like culture shock.
It definitely was a culture shock. You realize your Memphis accent.
Come on now.
I was like, you have a really heavy Memphis accent. I'm like, what does that mean? And then I listened back like, dang, I am kind of country.
Yeah.
That was a big shock. Another shock was just being around different people, knowing different things. Like, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know because you be in such a circle, a bubble in Memphis that you don't know what you don't know until you get out. And that's what that was for college.
And though it's like night and day for some reason. Like,
right.
Like I didn't realize that either. Like I'll go talk to people. They were like, "You talk kind of funny, or you saying a word incorrectly." But it's like when I go home to Memphis, when I talk, people don't never ask me, "What you say?" Like
right. It's like
say it again.
They
understand it. Like, we got our whole little, vocabulary. So I know one thing that was a difference for me moving from Memphis to here was like the food. The biggest wing spot here was like people like Buffalo Wild Wings, or like we had what we have in college. You used to go to.
It was like that little. It looked like a house a little bit. I can't think of the name of it.
I know you're talking about Jefferson's.
Jefferson's.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, these ain't whole wings, but I guess this is wings.
They don't know no whole wings. They're like some whole wings. Like, y'all sell wings by the whole? I'm like, yeah, man, that's a real live thing.
Right.
So what was your favorite spot? I know you said you don't eat meat right now at all, right? You a vegetarian?
Right, I'm a vegetarian. A year and a half.
Year and a half?
Year and a half.
What made you go on that journey to survive being a vegetarian?
Well, originally I watched the documentary that I said I wasn't gonna watch, but in the pandemic, you just watching stuff.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was What the Health, I think, and I seen like how the meat was processed, and I was just like, I can't do it. And then I just stopped eating meat, cold turkey. Since then, but ever since then, I noticed like the changes in my body, and now it's more of a health thing.
So did you have like some like withdrawals or something like that, or when you first started eating meat, or was it kind of just like, you know what I mean, like easy breathe? Some people can withdraw from stuff as easy breathe. Some people have like withdrawal symptoms, you know what I'm saying, and just start kind of going. Like,
I don't think I really had no withdrawals. The only it would get hard. I would smell chicken. Like I still smell chicken now, to be like, damn, that chicken smell good, but it don't make me want to eat it. It just smell good. I miss it sometimes because when you're a vegetarian, you just don't eat as much and you be hungry. It's like you'll eat dinner and be like an hour later, like, hey, I'm still hungry, but it's just like, I ate already. So that be the struggle sometimes. You want to feel full. You don't really feel full a lot as a vegetarian.
More power to you, girl. I feel you. I don't know if I can do it, though, so I'm going to just live through you carelessly. You know what I'm saying? Because I love me some chicken. I kind of watch what I eat, too, the older I get, too. Like you said, like, your body do change. Because, like, I don't drink alcohol no more at all either. And I know when I start doing that, my body start to change completely. So, I don't know. Maybe one day I will be a vegetarian. But I don't know. I had a fillet of fish on the way up here. And it was hitting. So, since you don't eat meat no more, do you remember a time back when you was eating? What was your favorite hot wing spots? Like Crumpets?
Crumpets and Dun Duns. You ever heard of Dun Duns? It's in North
I missed that train. No, I ain't go to Dun Duns.
Dun Dun was probably number one.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, that was probably number one. We used to, that was the spot.
See, I grew up in East Memphis, and I didn't believe in mixing and matching neighborhoods. So I'm like, if I'm in East, I'm like, do I really want to go that far to get food? You know, I'm kind of lazy, too. The food there in 10 to 15 minutes from my crib, I'm probably
That's
not
far. Yeah, that Dun Duns would definitely be far
I'm not
from
finna
East
try
Memphis. BJ's was good, too.
You know what? I love BJ. They recently closed the one down on, they had one on Winchester.
On Winchester.
By East Memphis. The only one left is the one in
Whitehaven. Yeah.
By Graceland. I worked downtown, and folks were like, we had BJ's Wings by Graceland. I'm like, oh, really? Did you like it? I was like, it was so good. I'm like, you don't know Grayson kind of slick in the hood over there in the Haven. You don't even know it. Okay, so go back from a time back when you was eating wings and barbecue. What was your favorite spot to go to when you ate barbecue?
Barbecue, I'm going to say Tops Barbecue.
You like Tops?
Yes.
You were the first person I've ever heard that.
And it's crazy. I wasn't even getting barbecue from, I was getting a cheeseburger.
It's crazy.
You have a cheeseburger from Tops? Oh,
Come
my
on
God.
now.
It's like the best ever.
I was talking to my boy. I was like, Tops like one of the only barbecue spots with a burger better than a barbecue. Like, I don't think I had a pulled pork sandwich at one time, but they burgers, though.
They burgers is hidden. I used to eat they pulled chicken.
God.
They pulled barbecue chicken. They used to hit too. The beans was alright, but you know the commercial barbecue is different from homemade.
Come on now.
Memphis barbecue.
Come on
I just
now.
be feeling like people say, "Oh, Memphis the home of barbecue." That's a myth. Like it's not commercial. It's like homemade.
Yeah. Somebody got somebody in the family, was an uncle or dad or somebody.
Right. And it's like multiple, everybody got that person in their family that's barbecue. And that's that's Memphis.
Come
like,
on now.
Yeah.
You real Memphis right there. I tell people all the time, they're like, what's the best barbecue? I'm like, bro, honestly, we didn't eat barbecue growing up.
Right.
Like, it was my pop's barbecue like all the time. I ain't know what a
Right.
gas grill was until I came to MTSU. I was like, y'all can make a grill. I can just turn the switch on, the grill come on. Like,
No, they barbecue.
man, where that charcoal at, man? Put it on there. I forgot about it. There's a difference between vegan. I could do vegetarian. I'm thinking about vegan. Vegan is like no
dairy, no
eggs,
meat, none of that.
nothing
Yeah,
from animal.
I ain't vegan.
That's crazy. Okay, I got you. So no more barbecue. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of your work.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I'll be checking out your series and all that. So let's kind of go back. What kind of got you started with that? Was it more like, was you in Memphis and was you like in like performing art school and in classrooms, or what kind of sparked that idea to get you to
I
do
was
that?
not. I went to Wooddale.
Yeah.
But when I look back, I did have a digital camera. I know digital cameras was a thing back then.
Digital cameras. Sometimes.
Just a little, just a camera. A little.
Then you put your UBS cord in the yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly
So
what
I
you're talking
did
about.
have a digital
Yeah.
camera in high school, and I just used to take pictures at everything, at all the games. Just new tennis shoes, J's come out. I'm in the hallways, I'm taking pictures, and I didn't realize that until recently. Like, dang, I was doing that already. But I really didn't get into video until college. I was helping shoot sorority video. We had Delta Week, and I was helping shooting the video, and I was on set just like, dang, I like the way this made me feel. I got to do this every day, and that's kind of how I got into it. And I just started shadowing people and learning, and here I am. But I didn't even know that that's what it was. I was just wanting a digital camera because I just wanted a digital camera. I went to college and became a health major because all of my family was, working in a hospital. So, of course, that's what you're going to branch to, is what you see. I didn't realize video until my junior year of college.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I graduated undergrad with a health degree. And then I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I know I don't. And so that's when I took the refund check and just bought a camera. And
What was that transition like for you? Was that like kind of one of the things that you get set and like, cause I'm pretty sure if you probably told your family like you graduated with health and you was like, you know what, I got a degree in health, but this is like a route I really don't want to take. I want to do, photography. Was it like kind of a hard conversation to come to realization with yourself and your family, or was it kind of just like it was like a done deal, like my mind made up and I'm going 100% in?
It was my mind made up, but it was different because, our family come with, what you gonna do, how you gonna make money, you gonna get a job. Like, and I was just like, So I didn't, my mama didn't disagree that I wanted to do video. She just was like, you need to get a job to make money. So it's kind of like, I would quit these jobs over and over and over and over, and it never frustrate her because it's like, what are you doing? Like, you chasing something that ain't making you no money. But now it's like, it's making me money.
Yeah.
So I never gave up on it. It's just kind of like, I just had to show them that this is what I'm doing. And now they fully accept, they fully support. They never didn't support me. They just didn't understand in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I think it's too, like, I tell people we're in a different generation. Back then we were taught, go to school, get a degree, work a certain job. People been in the same job for like 20, 30 years.
No.
And we kind of live in luxury. Our generation realized like, man, I kind of want to choose happiness over, being somewhere consistently just because it's like
It pays me.
So is that the advice you give everybody? Just make sure you just kind of just stay consistent with it. 'Cause I know you said that you were working different jobs. Were you in that mindset at your job like, you know what, I'm here, but I won't be here forever.
So yeah, I worked so many jobs, but at the same time, I was still hustling, trying to like, let me learn this, let me go over here and sit, let me watch, because this is what I want to do, this is what I have to do.
Yeah, I understand that. You work at Amazon in college?
I did not. I refused.
You missed the Amazon wave.
I refused to work at Amazon. I've never worked in a warehouse. I just refused. Never. That's just one of those things I say I would never do.
That is crazy because I'm a hustler. I'm talking about Amazon. We've been in the jump for 12, 13 now. Amazon was the only warehouse that was air conditioning there. You know what I mean? Most people work warehouse. They work the warehouse and they leave work. You like, smell a little funny. You know what I'm saying? You a little sweaty. Amazon, you come smelling good still. You know what I'm saying? And they paid you some real good money. So your production company is called Pack House. My bad, I got it wrong. Correct me.
No, it's okay.
What made you come up with the idea? Was this your original idea? Was you like a different name at first? You had to revamp and call it something else? Or what's the transition?
It was TY Productions at first, Tiffany Young Productions. Okay. But I always knew I didn't want to brand the company on my name, but I didn't know what I wanted to change it to. So my granny passed in 2020, and her initials is PAK. Patricia Ann Knox, so Pack House Studios. It's kind of like my granny, she didn't have much, but whatever she had, she would give it away. And she would just welcome people from anywhere into her space. So that's what I wanted to mirror Pack House Studios on, to bring people in and nurture them in Pack House Studios. And so that's kind of where I got the name from. So it's been changed for 5 years now. So it's Patricia Ann Knox and then Purpose and Knowledge.
It's super dope. I think last time I saw you was just getting started. I think Fiji was DJing at Calendar's Lounge and you was doing photography for that. And I was like, what's up, Tiff? I ain't seen you in a minute. And you had just a camera in there and you was doing photography, and it's crazy. You was talking about, your company and things like that, and just see it like fast forward like some years later, you starting to really, kind of get it revamped up. So well, cool. What kind of inspires you? Because I actually did I found some actual movies that was shot in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm gonna see if you know these movies. Do you remember a movie called Insecure?
A movie called Insecure?
It was like N and then dash like SECURE.
No, I don't remember that one.
That was a really good movie. It's like an independent film. It had like Lamont Rucker, who played in Tyler Perry movies. It had that chick who played in Smart Guy, the sister.
The sister.
It was like a guy who was like kind of like crazy and then like very possessive. It was a really good movie.
I'm pretty sure I seen it. I just ain't remember it.
Yeah, if you see it,
said that, it kind of.
It was a really good movie. The Blind Side had a couple. The whole film wasn't shot in Memphis. They had a couple of scenes.
In Memphis.
It was shot in Memphis.
I've seen The Blind Side for sure.
The Green Book.
I seen The Green Book.
They had a couple, like a scene at the Orpheum Theater. They shot that in actual Memphis. And then my favorite one out of all of them they shot in Memphis was Soul Men.
Soul Men.
I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
Oh man, Bernie Mac.
Some people, Mr. Way. I'm just saying now. So do you think Hustle and Flow really portrays Memphis though? How like Memphis is?
Old school Memphis, yes. 90s, yes. But current day when it was shot, no.
In 05, yeah.
I don't think we talk like that. Or
I hate the accent.
Yeah, it was like too much. We ain't that country.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No. He was like, DJ Mane. Come
Yeah.
on, man. It's me, DJ Mane. I was like, bro, do we really say Mane a lot like that?
We do say Maine a lot though.
You think so?
We do. And like that deep Memphis, you in Memphis, you say Maine a whole lot.
So what's the Memphis dictionary? So you gotta go to Memphis. Let's say I'm like a tourist. I'm going to Memphis. What's some slang I'm gonna hear a lot of Memphis? Miss Tiffany, I'm
You
just
definitely
curious.
gonna hear Maine. You gonna hear you checking, ain't it? You gonna hear that junt. On God, cap.
Facts.
It just be like it's like phrases. You tough, ain't it? Like
Yeah.
I ain't in Maine.
You ain't lying about that
You
one for
ain't
sure.
lying.
Real talk.
Say less.
Real talk. I be trying to tell folks, I'm like, bro, Memphis ain't that bad like people try to portray it is, like on TV. Everywhere you go, it's gonna be bad. I'm like, if you mind your business and you kind of just go and move the way you move, you're not gonna have no problem. I think when you start to do too much,
Well, I feel like Memphis got a persona from street Memphis. Everybody got the streets though.
that's true.
They just solely judge us off what happened in the streets, but everybody ain't in the streets. So I feel like that's the stigma of Memphis, but that's really not what it's all about.
Cause I work downtown. I'm a tourist. I say I work on Broadway, like a restaurant on Broadway. So I meet a lot of tourists. That's why my podcast name Blues, Barbecue, and Bullets. Because every time I go and I say, you got an accent, where you from? Like, oh, here we go with this story again. I'm like, I'm from Memphis. And they're like, I hear two responses when I say that. They're like, dude, man, we fucking love Memphis, man. The fucking barbecue is amazing, bro. We love fucking Rendezvous, bro.
Rendezvous is
It's so good, bro. And like, dude, we love the blues music, bro. Oh my God, it's like, dude, Bill Street, man, it was so nice, man. We love it. Or I hear like, so I'm just wondering, is there certain parts I should avoid going to Memphis, or is it really that bad? Like, am I really gonna get my car stolen? Well, you make your car stolen. That's they do now all the way in Memphis, but will I really get jacked? I'm like, it's not that bad like you think it is. Like, if you mind your business, and people from Memphis can always tell when you're not from Memphis.
right.
You know what I mean? By your accent, you acting all, you know what I mean, shaky and scared. That's why you said earlier about the Dun Dun Wings. It's not the fact that I'm scared to go to North Memphis, but like, if I don't have no business out there,
Right.
what's the point of going out there trying to, you know what I mean, explore into a
Right.
documentary? Like, it ain't never that
Yeah,
that
I get a
serious.
different reaction. We're like, where you from? Memphis.
Yeah.
I be like, don't do that. Like, they was like, I would never think you were from Memphis. Like, everybody not the same, y'all.
We got a lot of culture. That's why I named those films for you, because I ain't realized too, like, damn, we got some really, those movies I named was some really some good movies. But what inspires your film work? Because I've seen a couple of your series, and I'm gonna talk about in a second. But does Memphis kind of inspire you when you kind of writing? You kind of take like some experience you grew up in Memphis learning, or what kind of inspires you when you start writing these, you know, short films or series?
Of course, Memphis gonna always be, in the backstory of it because I'm from Memphis. It's in me, so what I write is gonna technically be from Memphis. But what inspires me, I pretty much take things that's going on in the world, and people that's close to me, the stories that I hear. If people confide in me, like I take like themes, because it's kind of like we all kind of go through the same things at different
sure.
points. So I take that and things from my childhood and make it one story to tell a story, if that makes sense. And I write stories not to answer questions, but to ask questions. So I want people, after they watch my work, to spark conversation of perspective, because I never come from one end. I'm never biased. I always show basically two sides or three sides to a situation or to a story. And so that's kind of what inspired me. Of course, God as well. I'm very spiritual, so like I feel like He sent me these stories to tell, to probe conversations, to change people, if that makes sense.
That make a lot of sense, because you definitely have my mind sparkling. I seen a couple of yours, so I'm just wondering, like, I seen that Stuck the series, right? And I don't know if your other fans feel that way, but I feel like I got left with the biggest cliffhanger in the world. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm searching YouTube. I'm like, maybe it's another playlist. I'm going crazy. I'm like a fiend. I'm like, so just for the fans like myself who want to know, is there gonna be a part 4 coming out, or was three was meant to be like that to have us wondering like?
So I originally wrote Stuck to be 3 because that's the story, and it's a story that never ends.
Oh.
And so I left it open because it don't end. It's just gonna keep going. That cycle just gonna keep going. Now the child got childhood trauma. She probably gonna choose a man, how her mama chose a man. So it's just kind of like, But I did write 2 more episodes to it, and we We put it in a writer's room, and we was just talking about it. And it was like, it's a good story, and those episodes were good, but that's not my story no more. I just felt like I was writing because I know how to write, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it would have kept going, and they was just like, man, this is good. And it was just like, but I was like, I ain't feeling it though.
I feel that.
I would just be releasing it just because people want to see more. I'm not 100% shut it down. I'm probably about 85% that I still could finish it out just because people want to see it. But I don't know, I feel like I got other stuff in me that
I understand
that I want to release. And a series is a whole lot it takes a whole lot to shoot a series. Like, oh my God, it's so much. So many people, so many schedules, so many locations. It's just a lot. So I ain't gonna 100% say I'm done with it, but
Man, I don't know if you've seen this show called Sopranos. Have you seen it before?
yeah, I was in Sopranos, yeah.
It remind me, that cliffhanger remind me of the last episode of The Sopranos. You know what I'm talking about?
And that's how
He went to the restaurant and then like the screen just, it was so much going on and the screen just went black. And I'm just like, wait a minute, like this is it? Like it has you wondering like what else? Your mind was just wondering. So I didn't know that's the route you took. Because if you did, it doesn't work with me. You know what I mean? Because I was like, because the news article came and then when I was like, what could have happened? Like, was it him? Was it like, was
like,
like,
what was
like,
it?
what, like,
Right.
like,
And
what's going on?
I
I'm like,
partly left it open for that reason. Like,
I got you.
I could pick it up or it could end right there and still be a story.
Okay. One I related to the most was you made that silent film,
Oh yeah, the Dark
Ages. That was really dope.
So the Dark Ages is my story. That's me for sure. You know how they tell you in high school, you grow up, you go to college. After college, you get a job, you get married, you have kids, happily ever after. But that ain't really how it be. After college, you be so lost and so depressed, and it's hard to find a job. They say they need you to have 10 years experience, but I just got out of college, so how am I supposed to have 10 years experience and an education? So it's like you struggle. And so that period between graduating college and like those next 3 years, not for everybody, but for most people, you really don't get no job fresh out of college. You still be working the Foot Lockers and the fast food. You know what I'm saying? And then, not to say that was bad jobs, but when you got a whole degree and you still making minimum wage. And so that period is the Dark Ages where you just be down and depressed. Like, and there's a scene in there at the end where she just lose it. That happened to me. And I just tore like the room up. I was throwing stuff, I was breaking stuff just out of frustration of this is real life. And this ain't what they told me what was gonna happen. And so that's why it's the Dark Ages.
I like that. What inspired you to do it as silent? 'Cause when I saw it, it kind of reminded me of like, I don't know if you know Buster Keaton. Like he's like one of the greatest silent actors of all time, like in the 20s and 30s. Like when I saw it, because I'm a big film guy too. You know, hopefully you give me a part soon. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely audition. You know what I'm saying? Give me a part in something. But I just love film. Like I took film class. And I remember Buster Keaton was like a really good silent actor. So when I saw that film, the first thing I thought was, damn, that's like some Buster Keaton shit, because it was silent, but like the whole film, you had to say anything. I can't feel everything he was saying.
The emotion.
And I can relate to it. And I was like, damn, like she getting versatile, you know what I'm saying? And the reason I can relate to it myself, because like you said, you work those bullshit jobs. So my real name is Quinshon, Quintshon, right? So like when I first graduated college, I'm putting my resume is Quinshon. And guess what I'm getting back? The same thing you said. That's tough.
I know what color he is.
I ain't getting no call back. I'm like, Quinshon, I'm like, no call. I'm like, man, why not call my name back? So when I started putting Sean, S-H-O-N, what people my job call me now, my corporate job, you know, but once I started doing it, the phone started ringing out the roof. But then when they saw me at the interviews, they kind of like, okay, Sean, they look up, they see me. I'm like, I'm here now. You got to interview me.
Right.
So all I had to do was get into the front door, and then my work ethic and the way I can communicate can take care of the rest. So when I saw that film, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, man, this is so funny because it's tough. Like when you first graduate, it's so discouraging.
It's very discouraging. It's crazy. When we shot that film, my granny died that week.
Oh, wow.
And I was going to go home. My mom was like, no, just stay and finish it and then come home. And so it was like, not only was I telling the past experience, I was living it at the same time that we were shooting. So that film was, that was the one that was really heartfelt.
Gotcha. Okay. It was another one I saw too. I forgot the name of it already. Lord help me. I wrote it down. But it was the one when he was struggling with the alcohol.
Shelter.
Yeah, Shelter. That's what it was. What inspired it? That was a really good one too.
At that time, it's crazy. You don't realize what you're doing until after I'm thinking I'm just writing shelter just to finish a project in film school. But at that time, I was kind of homeless. I've always had somewhere to go, but as far as my home, I was just kind of out there. And so originally it was shelter to find somewhere to stay and be protected. But I'm always gonna put some type of knowledge in there, where I was coming out of a corner store, and I seen like the crackhead.
Yeah.
This crackhead lady, and she was just talking to herself. She was just fighting, and I was just like, let the window down. I was like, let me listen to what she's saying, because even when you drunk, you saying real stuff. And she was just kind of like, I beat him, and I did this, and I did that, and I was like, that sounds like some trauma that she got going on in her life. And so it's like, let me add, everybody think because they see homeless people and crackheads, like everybody got a story. And so that's why I added it in, this young artist who has so much potential and did all these great things, but he suffered from childhood trauma. And so it's hard for him to keep going, because now it's messing with his mental stability, and which is preventing him from being great. And so that's kind of where shelter come from. So a whole bunch of, like I said, I pulled from different places to make it into one. And that's how I got shelter.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I also noticed too, I don't know if you noticed it too, it seemed like with most of your projects you usually hire like the same actors and actresses. Is that something like by coincidence, kind of like your strategy you kind of do?
It's a strategy.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of, if you see like the Spike Lees and the John Singletons, even Tyler Perry, they keep their same universe of people, because those people are the people that's dedicated and who really want to do it and grow with you.
For sure.
So just like when Spike finally won his Oscar, who gave it to him? Samuel L. Jackson, because he was riding with him. So I'm gonna give my boy his award because you deserve it. And so like that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm still building relationships, and my actors and my team, they just riders, and they want to do it. We all chasing a dream. So I just keep coming. Like one of them called me yesterday, like when the next project, like I'm ready. I was like, it's coming. And so that's kind of still the same strategy that I'm trying to from the greats.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say that next. I kind of,
Even Ice
when
Cube.
you did that, I noticed that too. Like it reminded me like a Tyler Perry, like you said, like a Spike Lee, John Singleton. They usually, even the guy who directed Get Out, Keenan Peele, Jordan Peele. He used the same guy, Daniel. He was in Nope. He was in Get Out. He was in a lot of his film. He was like, if whenever I got a job available, I'm always gonna make sure you have a job. So.
Right.
When I saw that, I kind of thought it like, man, you kind of keep the same type of, actors through this journey. And I think, just based off your diverse profile is gonna, keep on elevating. Yep.
My top 5, Love and Basketball is my number 1.
Oh my God.
Temptations will be my number 2.
Temptation. Tyler Perry movies?
No, the real Temptations. I know you wanna leave me. That's my number 2.
The VH1 Temptation.
Yes, VH1 Temptation. That's number 2.
5-part series. I know it. Yeah.
Number 3 would probably be Harlem Nights. Number 4 would probably be Love Jones.
People don't realize that's the only film that Ice Cube's ever directed was The Players Club.
Was it? Yeah, that's Players Club is just like, if you really listen to it, like it's fire, and it got a whole lot of the greats in it that's low key that you don't realize. It's like everybody's in Players Club.
You're right though. Now I think about it. Who was in there? Debo was in there.
Debo was in there. Bernie Mac.
What's dude name? Ezel.
What's these people real name? AJ Johnson. AJ Johnson. Lisa Ray. Ice Cube. Everybody's in it.
Uncle Luke was in there, John too.
Made guest appearances. Jamie Foxx. Like. Same thing with Harlem Nights. It's kind of like a team of greats. Like Life would probably be number 6. But yeah.
Do you ever worry about that sometimes, like with like making films? Like, does it bother you? Like, so like you said earlier, it's like we be forgetting actor's name, but we see a certain character and we remember that character. Is that something you worry about sometimes you making films, to make sure that you don't have like, have like a diverse profile and you're not just like, that's that character's name. You know
right,
what I
to
mean?
get typecast.
Yeah,
and that's why I tell
typecast.
my actors I want to pull them and do different things, like with Jalen Dukes and Stuck. And the last few things that I had him in, he's been like gangster, but he ain't gangster. He's very educated, very smart. So I was like, I'm gonna take you out of that so you won't get typecast and put you in maybe like a husband role or a brother or mentor. He was like, I'm with it, I'm with it. Same thing with Jennifer. In my new one, is coming up. I kind of always have her as the wife, but she played the crackhead in Shelter.
Okay. Yeah.
And she was the lead in the Dark Ages.
Okay.
And now she's about to be the star of my new movie,
Okay.
Spades. And so it's kind of like I'm trying to shuffle them around to make sure that they don't get typecast and that we all are diversified.
I like that. Yeah, I noticed too. Rochelle on the school. Rochelle, she and like your films too. We did the stage play together like some years ago for Sam. It was called The Betrayal.
The Betrayal, I remember that.
Yeah, we did. Would you ever tap into doing like a stage play?
No.
Yeah.
It's just it's different.
It is.
It's a total different like spectrum of art. It's a whole different way of writing. It's just not my lane, if that makes sense. I go to them and support people, but I don't foresee me doing a stage play.
I did theater and stuff in school. I'm trying to get my resume to you so that way, you be back in your mind. So when that time does come, I can work on my speech that I'm working on. But I did like a few plays like in middle school, did like a couple short films. I think people don't understand it's so different, like being on stage and, props like live, it's action. It's so different than when you're on set. You got to have the camera, the angle, the light, and then you have to do a different couple takes, different angles. When it's stage plays, it's like, it's just like,
that's it on live right now.
And I ain't understand it at first, when you start getting to acting, like I thought it can be the same, like, kind of like how some people do TV shows and some people can do movies, like them two different lanes. Two different things. So I did feel on that one. But you said you got something new coming out called
Spades.
Dun 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 dun.
It's a short film. So my goals is to definitely be a TV writer. But right now in the independent world, it's not a real big space for series. And so I switched over to movies, which brought Spades. And Spades, sometimes you just gotta call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
And so the underlining is about marriage. And how I feel as millennials, we rush into getting married because we want the wedding. But we don't really think about the marriage and what it actually takes to be in a marriage, which means to serve.
For sure.
And you're supposed to receive, but you're supposed to go in to serve.
For sure.
And I felt like we missed that part. And so we do all of these things. We get married, we have kids, we buy houses, all of that in this short period of time. When we get to year 6, year 7, it's like, do we even like this person? And so in Spades, I kind of show what that looks like when we do that. When we don't do our homework on these people that we promise God that we going to be with for the rest of our life.
That's going to be a really good film. I cannot wait till they come out.
Yeah, it's done. I've entered into 6 film festivals so far. We're waiting for it to come back. So once it run the film festival circuit, then we'll release it.
I can't wait. You gonna do like a premiere or anything like that for it? Or you gonna just drop it?
Don't the premieres be so much.
Yeah.
It takes so much out of me. I think I'm gonna skip the premiere on this one, and then next year when we drop Space 2, because it's gonna be a part 2, then we'll roll out. I think I'm gonna have maybe two or three projects to show. Then we'll have a premiere next year, because it's like I'm in my writing season right now. Like I just feel like God is like giving it to me, and it's like time for me to put it down and then have production, because it's like it's 2 different types of seasons. It's a lot of work that goes into producing. So it's like, let me do this and then I can do this. Yeah.
What's your writing process like? You have to be like do you have to be like in a certain like space you in, mentally at that time, or do you just kind of just think of an idea and just write? Or what's kind of your writing process when you start to get into your writing season and writing bag?
It's not really a set process. It's just kind of how it comes. So right now I'm working on 3 at one time. Sometimes I get a scene for Spades. Sometimes I get a scene for another project. I always keep a notebook with me. And so I can be I'm writing about real experiences. So I can be somewhere in a conference and listen to somebody tell a story, of overcoming. I got something, a real story. Let me write that down in my notes. And then it's like I have times where I'm going to go to Starbucks, let me sit down for 2 hours. And I'm going to go back and read my notes and start putting it together. And it just sometimes just come together, and then I start writing.
That's dope. Do you write like on like a notepad, or you do more like you type everything up?
Well, Ideas is in the notepad, but when I'm actually writing the script, it's in the script final draft software.
That's cool. They remind me when I was watching it. It was the best man. He was like, I mean, I just saw my writing. I just feel it just feels a little different when you write it on
With your
pen and
hand.
paper.
Yeah,
You know,
like,
then you typing stuff up. So I was
yeah.
always curious, wondering.
Yeah, I usually write most of the time write on paper first, and then it like I go and I have different scenes on different pieces of paper, and I date them because I can write on this today, and then I don't get nothing for it until a month later,
Yeah.
and then so it's like I'm flipping back through the notebooks, like yeah, I remember that scene now. Let me go put it in script format. So yeah.
What has been the most challenging part through your whole journey so far, with everything?
I guess film school was kind of hard for me. Because in film school, of course, once you get to a certain level, it's not that many of us. And that's just in any industry. And so in film school, I struggled because a lot of my stories that I presented, they didn't understand.
Right.
And it would come off as they didn't like it, but I had to realize they don't like it because they don't understand. They don't understand the lingo, the terminology, the deepness behind it because they don't have those type of experiences.
Right.
And so I struggled with like, am I not good? Can I not do this? But I just kept going, and here I am. Like just like Tyler Perry said, I got my own audience. So once I realized that I have my own audience, I don't have to like try to fit these norms of what people say is good writing or a good film. And so that was probably a very hard thing for me to get through. But I got through film school, and now the hardest part is just like wanting to do more, but budget wise and getting people and getting a team. Like for Spades, the day we was supposed to shoot, no, the day that we shot Spades, my camera crew quit, so I had to shoot it by myself. Damn. I had people there, but overall, instead of because I like wanted for all of my other projects, I have to do all this work. I'm directing, I'm doing this, I'm making sure I've never just been able to be a director. And I had it set up for Spades where I was only the director, and the day of, they canceled. And I was just like, again. And so like just finding people to be consistent and dedicated is a hard part. But like I've equipped myself to know how to do everything, and so you got to do what you got to do. And I mean, it's hard. Everything is hard. Like you just got to choose your hard. It's like I can be in this hard, or I could be at a health job, even more depressed. So it's like
I can just feel the energy. Like everything you saying, I'm resonating. 'Cause I'm like, yeah, I definitely feel you on that. Because definitely you're trying to start something from the ground up. People don't see the hard work you put in between it. And sometimes people don't have the same type of passion and love for something that you may have. So it can be kind of hard to find like a good team that can be around you, surround you. So how do you even deal with that mentally? So when something like that happens, like, how do you deal with mentally? You kind of like, you take a couple minutes, like, and you kind of, like you said before, like, this hard now, but at least I'm building my own legacy, or do I take a hard when I'm working for like a health company, you know what I mean, and taking that type of hard? So like, how do you start to handle everything like mentally?
I mean, I cry.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Sometimes you just have to cry.
You have to, for sure.
I cry and then I pray, because nothing just happened just to be happening. When that camera crew quit on me, I called my mama and I was just so down about it, and she was just like, "It's two things happening. They weren't supposed to be a part of it, but God just showing you your strength." And so it's like I have these certain people that I go to like build me up in these times when you get low, to keep you up. And of course, the God Almighty is just like, I always say, I don't know what you're teaching me, but help me to understand and to get through and to learn the lesson in this. And that's just how I keep going, honestly. Like, that's it. It's that simple. Like, find your team, find your tribe, and do it.
I like that. What has been the most rewarding part so far of you doing your own thing, you feel like?
That I'm doing my own thing. That's the rewarding part. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I can wake up every day and choose what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's the best part of my life. Like, I'd be so grateful that, because I know everybody don't have that, and I work so hard to get here that now I get to choose what I want to do. Like, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. That's super dope, man. You inspiring me, Tiff. I'm over here getting a little teary out, y'all. This is It's something in the air in here, y'all. It's the air conditioning.
It's the air.
Man.
It's all right. It's all right.
But no, I can just feel that. I can just feel that based off your film work. You know, just seeing all your films, I can tell it's just so personable. It's so relatable to kind of like what's going on, because you know I kind of not a big fan of social media, but I know we got to have it
Right.
for the field that we in order to, you know, get the name out, get the narrative out.
Right.
But I feel like we go through so much stuff that you're talking about that people don't really discuss,
Right.
based off persona, or I want to seem like somebody who I'm not. You know what I mean? So, like when I do watch your projects, I kind of feel like at home, at peace. You know what I mean? Like you can let the guard down. Like, okay, you're not going through this alone. You know,
Right.
it's a world of people who out there just going through the same thing as well too. So.
That my work is touching hearts, and that's what I want to do.
Sure.
It's not for show; it's to touch hearts.
Yeah.
That's the overall goal. Like, so that I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you coming through. I know you got that one project coming up. You got anything else coming up you want to give a shout out to? What you been looking out for?
I'm doing a lot right now. I'm podcasting, which is out of my comfort zone. Just actually coming out and talking about things. This is big for me. So I'm on a podcast called Monday Manna, and we basically just talk about real life stuff we got and how to get through it. Same thing, same concept. You're not alone. You ain't dealing with this stuff by yourself. So I'm doing that. I'm writing. I'm producing other people's podcasts. I'm working with corporate companies. I got the photo booth.
You doing everything.
I'm just
You
out here.
hustling.
I'm hustling.
I feel that.
Because I got to fund these projects.
Yeah.
It ain't cheap.
I definitely feel you. Oh yeah, I saw a little bit. You made me think about that. You said podcast. I saw a little bit of your clips. Was it Talks with Tish?
Talks with Tip.
Talks with Tiff.
Yeah.
I'm getting so emotional here. Talks with Tiff. Now you had one that had me tripping.
Which one?
Talking about the birthday.
Oh my God, the birthday extravaganzas. That's a real thing.
You ain't lying. I was thinking about. I was like, man, when you broke it down, and I'm like, out of a year, and like, you kind of right though. Like that's kind of an extra. Like
It's a bill every year.
that's an expense.
'Cause
Go to dinner, go to brunch, and all that. But you hit the nail on the coffin. But I'm not gonna lie. The older I get now, like my circle's so small. I'm kind of like a loner. I'm kind of just. I work a lot too, and I be kind of to myself. Especially me working in restaurants too. I had my boy Cam on here a couple weeks ago. He owns Snore and Link, and we was just talking about like. I look at stuff so different now that when I go out to eat, I'm like, man, big groups of people. I'm kind of like, I don't know, cause like. When it come down to their bill, I'm kind of like,
yeah, I hate this with the bill. We pay for what we get. Like I don't like it. Like,
Yeah.
They only take 2 cards. I try to stray away. I be alone. I'm alone too. I be by myself a lot. People think I got a whole lot of friends, but
yeah,
I don't.
nah, for real.
Like the higher you get, the more in solidarity that you have to be. Like you be isolated because there's no way you can keep up and still be in your art, if that makes
sure.
sense. You have to be alone.
I just be saying that. And you said that it brought sparked my idea. I was like, man, that's so fun. I see that all the time when I be at work. People just come in there. It's somebody's birthday. I'm like, how are you turning? Turn 27. I'm like 27. Like, yeah, doing all that. Like, no 30, 35, no 40.
No $300 weekend.
Man,
Nah.
that's what I'm saying. That's so funny. So do you feel yourself when you get older, you kind of more and more to yourself to kind of focus in? Or you feel like just over time, like life just kind of goes on, people kind of do their own thing? Yeah,
life just kind of go on. You outgrow people. You outgrow people. You outgrow situations. There's nothing bad. That's just life. You grow in different directions. And so, they're saying everybody can't go with you. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and when you get grown, people start getting kids, getting married. Like, everybody have different responsibilities. So you end up falling off,
Yeah.
with people.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I saw that too. I said, man, she crazy. That was so funny. But, man, I appreciate you coming through. I had a good conversation, good time with you.
I appreciate you.
I look forward to, watching more of your projects. And if you ever are needing an actor who about 6 feet, handsome with a beard, with like a little deep voice, I can get a little deeper too if you need to from Memphis, you know what I'm saying? I do it for the love of it, you know what I'm saying? I can be serious. You said what? Or I can be funny, like, hey, what's going on, my man? You know what I'm saying? I'm a jack of all trades, so whenever you need something, just let me know. I'm being so serious, y'all. Hopefully she take me up. So
I'm gonna call him for real.
And I can't wait a couple years from later. I'm gonna say, can you believe this? We did this interview 2 years ago, and look how our careers took off in these last couple years. So I'm looking forward to it, man. But I appreciate you coming through, y'all. This your boy Q. till we outs.